Okay, you know the theme, and you guys, um,
I don't think I got an email from you on this.
oh, come on, Andra?
Yeah.
You know, people are telling me that in class too, and I don't know why. I use the exact same email list every time.
You know what? Check your spam folder.
Oh,
It usually
yeah.
just goes to
Yeah, you have
spam.
to do that. I don't know why, if you've gotten them previously, but you have to check all of those, unfortunately.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, so this was Nicole thought this was pretty funny.
Yes, I identify with the bird on the bottom a lot.
So I'm going to show you birds. I don't know if you got the humor. Maybe I don't need to explain it, but birds eat bees and butterflies, right? Okay, so let me see if I can get this on full screen. And our flying friends and pests have been a favorite subject with artists for a long time. So we're going to look at some of them now. And I had to start with our favorite bird to paint around here, right? I know Sigrid's gone, but um, this is the Great Blue Heron by Charles Wallace. Never heard of him, but it's on Lake Livingston, which is in Texas, believe it or not. And it is a pretty nice painting. And when I pick these things, I think about who I'm showing them to. And I know I've kind of teased people a lot about, cliches and overdone subject matter. But if you are going to do like something like a heron, what is it about that? I like this painting. What is it that makes it more than just a picture of this heron that people seem to love so much?
Well, the water and the sun. I think it's the sunset.
It's beautiful and it's kind of dramatic.
Yeah.
That's definitely part of it.
And even the tree is beautiful on the
It
right.
is.
Yeah, I like the right side.
The what?
The right side of it, I like with the
Yeah,
trees,
the
the reflection,
cropping.
and that unusual shape in the water. Is that a dock?
Yeah, it's a reflection of something.
Yeah.
So, it's an interesting shape, and the cropping is what I was
Mhm.
saying is a part of the interest. And also, just look at those trees on the right, that whole dark vertical thing on the right, kind of echoes the tall heron on the left, doesn't it?
Yes.
And then we got that sun in the middle there. So you can take a puppy dog or the sunset and the heron, and you can do something with it. If you feel you really have to, continue with that kind of subject matter. Okay, so I'll beat this over the head one more time. But this is called Herons and Lilies from 1862 by Frank Benson, American painter. And isn't this beautiful?
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. It is beautiful.
Color, light, shape. And it's not just about, oh, look at the heron. It's taking the heron and creating a drama, the light and shadow and the birds, and just really quite stunning.
The negative spaces created by the wings and the necks,
Yeah.
it's really beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. So he's thinking about design and form, not just subject matter. Okay, I have a note here. Let's see. Oh, it says, my note I captured for this says, some Native American tribes look at the heron as a symbol of patience and good luck. If they spot a heron when fishing, it means they'll catch a lot of fish. I don't know if there's any data on that, but that's what I read. Okay. Now, I know right away you think of that guy. I'm blanking up. What's his name?
Audubon.
Audubon, James Audubon. It's not. There's another artist, Francois Lavalante, from about the same time, 1801, and John Bowen is the artist on the right. They're hand-colored etchings and engravings. So, to my mild surprise, I guess, Audubon was not the only guy going around doing this in America at that time. There were others who were good. These are good,
Mhm.
interesting designs. It's not, again, it's not just the bird, it's designing the page, thinking about color and shape. And I really like them. Now, you've probably seen this one before, right? No?
Yes.
Let's see.
I don't know.
Who?
I don't know.
Oh,
think
it's
we-
Homer. From 1909. It's just called Right and Left. So you're hunting. I don't know. I don't hunt, but I think it's when you have a double barrel shotgun. It's a big deal to get two ducks with just one, two shots from the
Mhm.
before you have to reload. And again, it's just how he did it without photography and all that. I don't know, but he did something rather remarkable with the design of the birds. And another one, similar, well, this bird's alive, but it's called Soaring by Andrew Wyeth. Pretty cool aerial view.
Yeah, a different outlook, looking down.
Yeah, yeah. So again, you guys can do this. There's nothing stopping any of us from
Mhm. I mean,
looking-
look how small the house is down
Yeah.
below. So
yeah.
he's imagining what this looked like from that altitude.
Yeah, because there's no other way that I could imagine him good. I don't think there was like a tower or anything, but he does it rather convincingly.
Mhm.
Now here, who's going to be the first one it's called Magpie by Monet. Who's going to find the bird first?
I
On the
found it.
gate.
On the gate.
On the gate, yeah.
This is a good hide and seek though.
I had to look a while before I found it, but so again, it's called Magpie, but it's really not about the bird, is it?
No.
It's just basically it's a black dot practically. It's just a beautiful, stunning snowscape by Monet.
It must be early morning because that's when the snow shadows are the bluest.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
At least that's what I've observed.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's a wonderful painting. And everyone knows who this is. Oh, the signature is there. And Picasso was just so clever. He could do just all these different cool things. And I mean, if this is all he ever did, I don't think he'd be a famous artist, but he did a lot of he was a master of line, and we did look at him a lot in the Matisse and Picasso in terms of line. I was talking to somebody about that Friday night. Just line, contour line. But he had a dark side, of course.
Mhm. Look at those claws.
I know. Cat catching a bird is called.
The cat's pretty spooky looking.
It is. It seems more like it might be a wildcat. But that's what they do, a house cat, you think they're so gentle and tame, and if you let them out, they'll get the whole. We had a cat that would just kill anything, would come back, and they bring them and leave them at your doorstep like they're proud of it.
Well, they are proud.
They are, yeah, and it's just
Yes, they
I
are
don't know,
proud.
bred into them or something. But okay. I also want to now talk about bees a little bit and art, and it was more interesting than I thought to get into this. This is the earliest one. It's an cave art, an ancient painting with bees in it. Yeah, so amazing. That even back then, Um, it's apparently there's some guy climbing up and getting the honey. Isn't that what's going on?
That's what it looks like for sure.
Yeah. So we're talking about, I don't have a date for it, but it's, thousands of years old, this image. And then moving up quite a bit now to the Egyptian hieroglyphs. Again, I don't know what's going on here, but they thought enough of their bees or whatever kind of wasp it would have been. I don't know. They thought enough of them to carve them into their buildings, into stone.
Hmm.
And jumping ahead again, this is called The Beehive by Albert Dürer. So by this time they had figured out, how to be a bee. There's a word for it, bestiary, I think. People who keep beehives.
Mhm.
Those are some wild outfits.
Yeah, it's kind of spooky, but they had to wear something, to keep from getting stung on the head. But I have a note here. The note is the bee as allegory of the Middle Ages. So during the Dark Ages, which is what we're talking about here with Dürer, bees are represented in a new light. The bee becomes a symbol of industriousness because, I didn't know this, a bee sleeps a maximum of 30 minutes a day, and the rest of the time is performing various jobs throughout its life.
Wait, how long did you say?
It only sleeps 30 minutes a day, maximum.
Oh,
And it's out working the rest of the time. I don't know how they know how to work. It's in their DNA or their queen tells them or something, but they're always out busy. We have the expression a busy bee, and that's, I believe, where it comes from. And this is an interesting story. You'll love this. I did not know this, but it's a beautiful little painting by someone I never heard of, Hans Thoma, from 1863. And it's called The Bee Friend, but it's based on a European tradition called Telling the Bees, in which bees are told of important events in a family's life, including deaths, births, and marriages. And if the custom is omitted or forgotten, like they just forgot to tell the bees, then it was believed a penalty would be paid, such as the bees would just leave the hive and stop producing honey, or just disappear and die off.
wild.
I'd never heard that.
No, I hadn't either. And here's another fun one from the Middle Ages. It's an Old English menu. Now I question whether it's if it's not a reproduction, but this is what it was called when I found it, an Old English menu. And it's kind of interesting. I don't know, we don't have to read them all here, but some of the things that they had on the menu sound pretty good. Well, this doesn't have everything on it, but they have some pretty tasty sounding entrees or desserts. I think this is the dessert page. And here is a detail. You can see it here up in the upper right-hand corner. Those are bees flying down to the hive with gold leaf behind them. It's an illuminated manuscript. And these are, like, the first item on the menu is apple and honey under a crispy coat.
Mhm.
And then there are two more sweet desserts. So that's why they're making the reference to the bees and the honey. I don't think they had sugar cane in Europe at that time.
What year was this supposed to be?
Well, this was from the Middle Ages. So
They had coffee in the Middle Ages?
coffee and cake, that's a good question too. Coffee, I don't know.
And the coffee is surprising me that in the Middle Ages in Europe. I could be wrong, but I'm doubtful.
I think this is probably a adaptation of something
Yeah,
much newer, but
yeah,
I'm gonna assume that it is based on something historical.
yeah. I think the artwork probably is based on something historical.
Yeah,
Yes.
it does have that look, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it does, definitely.
Um, a manuscript. Okay, now the bee was also a symbol of Napoleon, and this was Napoleon's flag as he
Hmm.
around um, conquering Europe. I have a whole thing on this here, but I'll just read part of it. The use of bees is in a decorative form, intensified with the Rococo style, but then it became associated with important political figures like Napoleon, who was a great admirer of bees. In fact, he used them very often as a heraldic symbol because for Napoleon, they signified immortality and resurrection. And when Napoleon was exiled on the Isle of Elba, he decided to use a bee as a decoration for the flag of he considered the Isle of Elba his new territorial possession, so he designed a flag for it. Now, this one, we're jumping way ahead now. This one's really kind of interesting. This is a sculpture called The Hive by Wolfgang Buttress. I'm pretty sure it's a German in Germany or maybe Austria, but it's a sculpture of a beehive it's called The Hive, and here he is standing in another view of it. This is the artist, where it does have a hive-like feeling, like it's kind of vibrating, I think.
It
But
looks like the shapes are all hexagonal as well, which would be the way it would be in a honeycomb.
a honeycomb, that's right. I did not even notice that. You're right. But what's interesting is here's a photograph of it at night. And from what I recall reading, he hooked it up somehow to the actual beehives. I don't know if that you can see them here, but there are beehives nearby, and somehow he was able to capture the energy from the vibration of the hive, which lit up the sculpture at night.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
it is cool. Yeah. So a lot of conceptual art is actually quite interesting and innovative, I think, and this is a good example of that. So now I have one that you might remember or recognize, but it's called The Wasp Woman, which was a movie from 1959. Who has seen it? Okay, consider yourselves lucky. I've watched it. And yes, this is a pretty accurate illustration of what happens in the movie.
That would be cool for the upcoming Halloween exhibit.
That would be very cool. Yeah, to
All those skulls and everything.
we could show the movie in the gallery. We could have a special showing
That sounds pretty fun to me.
at the opening, have it on a monitor or something of the Wasp Woman.
That would be cool.
All right.
Can we have popcorn in the gallery?
Yeah.
We can have food up there, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now here is I got some traditional paintings. This goes back to 1669. Maria van Oosterwijk. Where's the butter? We're on butterflies now, by the way, but where's the butterfly?
There's one on the
It's
edge.
on top of
What?
it's on top of the lily of the valley.
I just saw that, but there's another one.
On the edge of the table in front.
Yeah. Initially, I thought it was what?
I think there's a third. If you see the orange flower to the left of that, between like the draping
You're
leaves.
right.
Oh,
Yeah. Wait, isn't that a reflection on the vase?
Oh, it is. You're right, but it looks like a wing.
It does.
It does, yeah. I thought the orange flower was a butterfly at first. But yeah, that's clever. I wonder if she was playing around with the viewer.
Like an echo.
Yeah, like an echo, yeah. And it's a very beautiful painting, of course. And here's another one. Obviously we see the butterfly hovering above the pomegranates. This is Adrian Court. 3 medlars with a butterfly. 1705. I don't know what a medlar is. I assumed it was a pomegranate. So what's a medlar? Oh,
Isn't a
I don't
meddler
know.
somebody that meddles in somebody's business, gets into their
Yes.
face?
Somebody that's disruptive.
it's
You're
not.
They're getting into the butterfly's business. I don't know.
It is a small brown apple-like fruit
Okay. All
that
right.
is only edible after it has begun to decay.
Oh,
And that's called a meddler?
Yeah, Medlar. And it looks just like what we see here.
huh. It has to decay before it's edible.
Yeah.
Well, you can do see one of them dripping over the tabletop.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
I think that's what it is. I'm not sure, but
Stay away from meddlers.
okay, so here's a beautiful painting by Thomas Gainsborough, the great portraitist from 1756, called The Painter's Daughters Chasing a Butterfly. Not much to say, but it is a nice painting. And here's another, this is from 1820, a Japanese, oops, how did I get that out of order? All right, well, I skipped something, but this is actually a painting here by Jacques-Louis David, the great neoclassical painter from 1870, Cupid and Psyche.
Mm.
And I love this painting. I just think it's beautifully composed, how the figures relate to each other. Do you think you should have left the butterfly out?
No.
No, I don't think so either. No, but it's quite. David is just he was a stunningly great painter. One of the last of the neoclassical period in Europe in the late 19th century, late 1800s, was kind of the end of the great tradition of European painting, and then we had Impressionism and then modern art. But they thought that traditional painting had become stale and contrived. Well, this certainly is not. Okay, here's a Japanese woodcut print. I won't try to pronounce his name, but it's called Two Dancers in Butterfly Costumes from 1820. So can you see that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
It's
didn't-
lovely.
I didn't even see that at first, but they're dancing with a butterfly costume. I took a course. I had to take quite a bit of art history in grad school, and one summer I took Japanese art, and it just was tremendous what we saw, what I learned from it. And of course, the Japanese art was having a big influence in Europe at the time, a little later than 1820, but it had a big impact on the Impressionists, because at that time Europe was importing Japanese ceramic goods, and the Japanese would wrap them in old newsprint. And when it arrived in Europe, they would unwrap it, and they were really more impressed by the graphic artwork on the old newsprint, the wrappings, than they were the teapots and things. And it influenced them, and we know that historically. Okay, almost done. You guys saw not long ago, I got a pineapple and did a painting of it. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I found this one. And Maria Sibylla Marion. This is from 1702. Ripe pineapple with long-winged butterflies.
And caterpillars
And
And
ladybug.
ladybugs, yeah. So,
and ladybugs. Yep.
but if you want a challenge, do a little painting of a pineapple sometime. It was a trip. Okay, Van Gogh, The Great Peacock Moth by Van Gogh.
I like it. It's beautiful.
It is, yeah. And finally, one of my favorite painters recently, Odilon Redon, Redon, called Butterflies from 1910. And Redon is just great. I'm going to show you a Redon every art night in until you start agreeing with me.
Oh, those clouds are just amazing. Look at the clouds.
Yeah, yeah. He
Forget the butterflies. Look at the
yeah.
clouds.
He mostly worked in pastel, or he's mostly known for the pastel, and I don't know what this is, if it's paint or pastel, but it's very beautiful color.
Mhm. It's beautiful.
Okay. That was the best I could do for this.
No, that's cute.
Charles, I'm surprised you didn't show the portrait of King Charles.
Ah, I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it has a butterfly.
Yeah.
Here, I gotta show you a bug that I found on my patio yesterday.
Okay. Can we get